Hey, this is GunsmithBeard back with another weekly gun video. So this week I want to talk to you guys about Gucci Glocks. And what do I mean by Gucci Glocks? So a lot of us have Glocks and we have an OEM, which means a full factory Glock. 100% of all the parts came from Glock and it's a genuine Glock. That's not really what I'm talking about. So Gucci Glocks is when you start getting into building and customizing your Glock. And when you're done, you might have a product that looks similar to this. So the slide, the barrel, the optics, the irons, the trigger, and even the frame are completely aftermarket. And they might be kind of a Heinz 57, meaning that one is one brand, the frame is another brand, the trigger is another brand. So it's completely custom. It's completely aftermarket. So let's take a deep look at my Gucci Glock and see what you guys think. So real quick, I want to show you that the firearm is actually clear from ammo. So we're handling an empty firearm. There is nothing in the mag well, there's no magazine inserted. And if you look down in the chamber, there is absolutely nothing in the chamber. So let's go ahead and start. All right guys, let's take a deep look into this Gucci build Glock. So first you'll notice all the embellishments or fabrications and millwork they did on this slide. It actually looks like a piece of art. One of the first things I noticed is how the muzzle is crowned and kind of drawn out to the slide, so it's almost a perfect fit. Beautiful work. And then next is on the slide there is ported windows for the ported barrel. And you can even notice too, if I can get the lighting right, is they chamfered the portholes on the ports itself on the barrel. So absolutely breathtaking. And so if you order this SwampFox slide, which is called the Wolverine, you will get the barrel, the slide, and if you want, even irons. These are night sights, so they're tritium with a green jacket around the tritium for daytime use. And to be honest, especially with this optic, this is SwampFox's Kraken. It's a closed emitter optic in green. And this is a really nice optic. I was kind of on the fence about closed emitters because I had no practical knowledge on them, but I went ahead and jumped on this one. I wanted to try it. And because of my relationship with SwampFox, they actually sent me the slide and the optic to kind of talk about and see how I liked it. And so I will say, it takes a little bit of use at the range to really kind of dial it in and get used to it, which it's kind of like with anything. You buy a new gun that you're not familiar with, you're gonna have to put some rounds down range to really understand it and get proficient. So as you can see, the slide is beautiful. It's almost, I'll just say it's man art, to be honest. It's really cool. But the frame I went with is an SCT. I know we've talked about this on the channel before. They are a phenomenal frame. And this has the Magwell Magpul flare on the bottom. It does have a little bit of gapping, as you can see. It doesn't fit perfectly. So I might have to just kind of play around with different Magwell adapters or Magwell flares to see which one fits the best. As far as triggers, I try to go with a gunmetal Agency Arms flat trigger. It's really, really nice. I think the poundage on this one, I think I have it around 3.5 pounds. So it's just really, really nice trigger on my quote unquote Gucci Glock. So that is in essence what a Gucci Glock looks like. For the most part, is it's completely customized. It's not anything you could actually buy from Glock. It's just has a lot of personality and performance. So I will say, one of the things I'm probably going to get asked is, what is the purpose of porting? Why should I even get a ported barrel? Besides, it looks really cool. Does it actually have any performance enhancement ability? Does it make the gun perform better? So as a gunsmith, I will tell you, porting is huge, and it does a lot, especially in competition, but it does a lot in performance. So there's two major things ported barrels will do. On shotguns, it will actually help reduce felt recoil. So felt recoil, reducing that recoil impulse is something that portholes can do. Also, ported barrels tend to shoot flatter. And what I mean by flatter is, without a ported barrel or without a compensator or anything to kind of mitigate the muzzle flip, which is every time you shoot, the muzzle climbs and rises kind of like that. I'm being dramatic, of course, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about. When you shoot a ported barrel, because the gases vent out of those portholes, it tends to not go up and down as much. It shoots flatter, which means the muzzle doesn't move as much. So that is the inherent plus or performance, increases you're going to see is in those portholes. But the con, what is the cons of portholes, is if you're not used to shooting ported barrels, you're going to realize when it's time to clean your pretty Gucci Glock, you're going to find out it gets 2 or if not maybe even 3 times dirtier, because all that crap comes out of the portholes. And I will say, with gold tinned nitrided barrels, or even nitrided barrels in general, you need to actually lube them. So I like to spray mine wet and then put it in and start shooting, because if you run nitrided dry, you will start chipping away at this finish and it will look pretty bad pretty quickly. So just FYI, remember that. So if you're in the market on building your own Gucci Glock or custom Glock or whatever, you have to always watch out for what we call tolerance stacking. And so that does happen when you're putting a bunch of different manufacturers' parts together. Sometimes they fit a little tight. Sometimes you have to kind of relieve those areas. So one of the things I ran across is the face of my slide, where the firing pin protrudes through the firing pin hole, was actually the finish of this. I guess this is Cerakote or even a clear coat they put over it, I'm not sure, but there was a little bit of buildup on the face, and so I had to use a little bit of 1000 grit sandpaper with some cutting oil and polish the face. I didn't want to remove a bunch of material, I just wanted to polish and kind of remove whatever that finish was that was preventing me from actually feeding rounds from the follower in a loaded magazine into the chamber. And that was kind of my biggest snag with this slide in particular, or even custom slides, is sometimes you run across tolerance stacking issues, and that's exactly what it was. So what I had to do was just polish the face, and I will show you that just 1 second. All right guys, so I really quickly wanted to show you the face of my slide that I was having issues, which is this little piece right here. The little hole you see is actually where the firing pin protrudes out and strikes the primer on the back of your casing. So if you're having these issues, you have a brand new slide and you're like, man, it won't feed. Like, what is going on? I just spent all this money. Well, most likely it's whatever the finish is on the slide is most likely inside, where like overspray is what I would say is probably the culprit. So again, a little bit of cutting oil, 1000 grit sandpaper, take your time and just polish that surface right there. That will actually make that problem go away pretty easily and pretty quickly. So again, I got the slide sent by SwampFox. If you like this slide combo, you really want to get it on your Glock 19, you can go to SwampFoxOptics and grab that from them. The optic you can either get from them or you can get it from Brownells. This is again the SwampFox Kraken in green, and the frame is an SCT manufactured, which I got from Brownells. The mag well down below right here, you can also get from Brownells, and also the trigger I'm not sure if they have this exact color, but they do carry Agency Arms Glock triggers, so you can grab one of those, and all the internal parts for the frame and the slide if you'd like. So thanks again to SwampFox and Brownells for always supporting my channel, and if you guys like the content, keep coming back. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next one.